Guys, very warm welcome to all of you to our podcast series. I'm Rohit, leading Envision Solutions. I'm the data practice head. And you guys, today's topic of podcast is very close to my heart. I mean, this is what we do generally in our lives. That is role of quality data for agentic AI success. And to discuss that, I have invited two of my special guests. So I'll add them one by one. Let me invite 𝗕𝗲𝗏. 𝗕𝗲𝗏 is basically running a complete program for data and AI at Philips. So she'll be here in a second. Let me just invite her. So Shasta, hi. I mean, very warm welcome to you, and thank you so much for taking your time to join our podcast.
Hi, Rohit. Thank you for having me, and it's great to be here. And thank you for everybody who is tuned in. Truly humble to be on this platform to be with you all.
Shasta, I was just telling everyone that you are doing some amazing work at Philips, leading this initiative of data and AI. So it will be great for our audience that if you can, talk about what you're doing. I mean, some introduction.
Yeah, sure. So I am the digital and AI leader at Philips. I have spent nearly 2 decades in big tech. I have helped startups and product companies worldwide, navigate the intersection between data, technology, but most important, people, right? And at Philips, we are on a mission to improve the lives of nearly 2.5 billion people, providing better care worldwide, right? And we've been able to do that because we have been at the cusp of innovation and digitization. In fact, we are embedding digital and AI in the very fabric or DNA of our company, in the way we innovate, in the way we lead, and also in the way we are going to provide care. Because our mission is not just to transform healthcare, our mission is to shape the future of it. And I am working currently, in this season, I am leading digital transformation at Philips for MRI, which is one of our flagship products. And I am deeply involved in one of the exciting frontiers, that is agentic AI, and how agentic AI is going to help enterprises transform the way they think, the way they work, and the way they scale, especially when you combine it with clean quality data. So, in a nutshell, I am like super passionate about solving customer problem using technology.
Great, Shasta. I mean, really excited to talk to you about this topic. And Shasta, I have invited one more guest, Shalin. Let me invite him. And this guy is very brainy. He's doing excellent work in agentic AI space. So Shalin, welcome to you to our podcast. And I've heard a lot about you that you guys are doing some amazing work in designing the agentic AI. So just can you please give your introduction to our audience?
Yeah, thanks Rohit and Shaista for inviting me on this podcast. And today's discussion is about a really important topic and close to my heart as well, about the Gen AI and Agentic AI, because this is the new normal that we are facing, and the future is going to be very different and accustomed with new technologies like AI. So, a little introduction about myself. I'm 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝘁. I'm the founder and CEO of the company Brainwaveml. Our company is focused on delivering cutting edge generative AI solutions to help businesses navigate today's fast changing digital landscape. We specialize in building Gen AI and LLM solutions and platform technologies that power automation, elevate strategic decision making, and transformative operational efficiencies. We believe that the future of business is not just digital, it's intelligent. And that's why we are here to lead that transformation for our clients and many businesses.
So nice to meet you, Shalin. I mean, it's great that you are the right people to discuss this topic because AI is trending. We all know that everybody is moving towards agentic AI. And just I want to know from you, of course you know this topic very well, but for the people who are new to this world and wants to get into AI space, what does agentic AI actually means? Can you give some examples and explain in a very simple language like what agentic AI means and what is the power of AI right now?
Yeah, that's a great question, Rohit. So, if you have to look at the industry, right, 2023 was the era of ChatGPT. 2024 marked the rise of large language models. And 2025 is when agentic AI is taking the center stage. The industry is shifting from generative AI to agentic AI. As per Gartner, 15% of business decisions will be taken by agentic AI. Generative AI, no doubt, has wowed us, with respect to its conversational capabilities, with it being the digital assistant, it, being able to brainstorm. But it has kind of struggled when it comes to delivering enterprise grade ROI. And there is where agentic AI comes in. And if I have to paint a picture, like in very simple terms, what is agentic AI? It's an AI which just does not respond but takes action. It's an AI which basically understands its environment, perceives what is happening, can do multi step reasoning, can collaborate with other AIs, and can also adapt in real time, and can make decisions and take actions, all without involving a human. Isn't it amazing? And
Absolutely,
if
it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if I'm to give a short example, imagine you're walking into a hospital and the first person whom you meet at the hospital is not a nurse and not a receptionist, but it's an AI agent. And this agent talks to you in your natural language, understands your symptoms, looks into the electronic healthcare records, accesses your medical history, right? And plugs in all of this information into advanced clinical models, gives you an urgency score, and at the same time is able to book an appointment with the right clinician, all before you even sit down or take a seat, Rohit. Imagine how powerful is this, right? And while all of this is happening, it can also, retrieve data from the LLMs, prepare a pre-diagnostic summary so that when the care team or the clinicians are coming in, they are very well versed. So the impact is huge in terms of not only reducing the time which it takes, for triaging, right, from 25 to 30%, of course, the overheads which are there in the waiting rooms, which would get reduced drastically. But the impact which I would like to call out to this forum is nurses and doctors. We're going to free up the time from them so that they can focus on giving better care to people, right? That's agentic AI. It is fundamentally transformational and super powerful.
Yes, I mean, that comes to question. Very interesting example you picked up. Let's say if I'm meeting a agentic AI bot at the hospital, and that bot is taking my notes. But let's say the data which they are actually gathering, it's not correct. It is corrupted. Then it can actually create a whole chaos because they are taking decision plainly on that data. So
Yeah.
I want to, and that's my topic also for today. I want to, stress on this, that how critical the quality of that data is on which these agentic AIs are taking decisions, Shasta.
It's at the very heart of why agentic AI projects either scale or fail, right? Data quality, it is not a technical enabler. It is the very oxygen which breathes life into agentic AI. There was a recent study which came out. There was an MIT survey wherein they kind of interviewed close to 205 C-level executives and data leaders. And what was uncovered is that most companies and organizations do not have an AI problem. They have challenges with respect to data infrastructure, they have challenges with respect to data quality, and they have challenges with respect to the governance of it. And if we have to really bring that shift right in the mindset, it will not help if we, have a lot of trusted partners to work with it or more sets of data tools to do the work with it. What is needed is that we really permeate and go deeper and build a culture within the organization, right? And that mindset shift where we are ready to partner and collaborate with AI to create value, so that it is not data for AI, it is AI for data, and it is, self-healing. So that is something which is very pertinent and very key. Because to your question, right, Rohit, the bot and the very fundamentals on which an agentic AI bot is working is on action. And action relies on clean, connected, contextual data, which is the very bedrock of data quality. It's as simple as garbage in, hallucinations out. So data quality is the fuel which is going to propel agentic AI. And let me tell you this, doing one or two use cases is okay. And most of the organizations today are even doing that and are successful. But what is hard for enterprises is scaling with data. And that really requires rethinking the data strategy, laying out, your fundamentals in place, a strong data foundation, and as simple as that, enforcing a strict data hygiene. So it's a long way which we have to go, and it is a top 1 or 2% who will realize this and will be able to win and succeed in the game of agentic AI.
Absolutely, I think you nailed it. That is what I also. I mean, we keep doing these sessions at Gartner and a lot of other places, and everywhere we have been talking similar thing that that fine you want to go to your agentic AI and you want to achieve the things, and it is required. But if you're not fixing your data, then absolutely, as you said, garbage in, garbage out. So it's very, very important that you nail your data, and then you will see that your agentic AIs will give you optimum efficiency. Shalin, I'm going to put this question to you as well. You are doing a lot of agentic AI designing, and I'm sure that you're talking to a lot of clients about the use cases. So, did you also, get some feel that clients or anybody who's majorly focusing on agentic AI but not putting that much focus on data quality? And what's your response to them?
Yeah, thanks, Rohit. So, little bit of information about the agentic AI. So, agentic AI is a big shift from the traditional based AI that we were using some time ago. So, the prompt based AI like the ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, they're all the prompt based LLM and they respond just to a single instruction. But the agentic AI is designed to take actions proactively, autonomously, and like goal oriented way. So it can plan sequence of actions, it can execute those actions and use tools on top of the data to even correct itself to achieve a high level objectives. So definitely, Rohit, this is a big shift from the traditional AI, and clients are also really interested to know that how we can implement these agentic AI solutions. But as Shaista said, that data is something that AI is built on top of. So whether it be like you are trying to make a product for AI or you're trying to implement a solution for AI, the data needs to be of the top notch and the top quality. So good data leads to smarter and more reliable AI, and for generative AI, it means getting the accurate sense of data, free from biases and any inclination towards some other hallucinations, for example. So the aim of the agentic AI is to give the system the right information to make decisions and take actions. So yeah, definitely, Rohit. The data is something which is really important, and agentic AI is something that is keeping these AI and the data together and taking actions based on it. So both of them are really important, and together it makes a great solution and a product.
No, thank you so much, Shalin. And that's what we also discussed just now with the Shasta. So it's very important that you fix the quality of the data, and that is where you can achieve your agentic AI success. Shalin, you being a very hardcore techie, so I'm gonna put you on spot. I want you to tell everyone what is the clear difference between Gen AI and agentic AI. As people are educating themselves and trying to ramp up their knowledge. So I want this podcast to really help them understand the criticalities and the clear demarcation between Gen AI and Agentic AI. Use some examples as well.
Yeah. So generative AI is a new AI that generates content. So previously, the AI that was used to classify, predict, and try to do something on the similar data that we had. But now the generative AI can generate new content. For example, if you ask on ChatGPT and Gemini or Claude, it can generate full research papers, some big content for content marketing, for digital marketing, and stuff like this, which was not possible before. So that's the power of generative AI. But the agentic AI is something which is built on top of the generative AI. So the generative AI was able to prepare the content and make the content, but was not able to take actions based on the information that was being provided by these AI. But the agentic AI is able to take actions and prepare these workflows, important workflows, as Shaista said, for medical use cases, for content marketing use cases, for retail, and so many other use cases that businesses are now targeting. That agentic AI just becomes a huge thing. So it can take actions, it can plan workflows, and it can do many automated things at large scale. So that's the difference, and both of them technologies are really important, I believe, and because agentic AI needs to be implemented properly, and that's the problem many companies face and the clients face with us too, that they don't have the correct mindset for the agentic AI. They think that a lot of stuff can be done with agentic AI, but many niche things that specific things that could also not be done with agentic AI. So businesses need to take care of this and reevaluate how they are thinking about these technologies, because it could be powerful, but it could also be really fatal for the businesses.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this, knowledge sharing, because this is very important, guys. And if you are hooked up to this podcast, and if you have any question, then feel free to ask us. And as Shalin explained, the clear difference between agentic AI and Gen AI. And Shalin, as we know that in making a agentic AI, the role of protocols like MCP, ACP, they play a very critical role. So I want you to educate our people or just throw some light that what does this MCP and ACP actually means, and what is their role in making that agentic AI a success?
Sure. So MCP, the full form stands for Model Context Protocol, and for ACP it stands for Agent Communication Protocol. So these two are the emerging standards and protocols that are changing how we build and integrate these AI system with LLM technologies and agents. So MCP stands for standard that dictates how the AI models, LLMs, can seamlessly across and utilize different data tools and systems. So you can think of it like an API that's getting connected to all these solutions and applications. And it can access information in real time. And it's a game changer for businesses because it addresses the problems of integrating these AI technologies with the already entire enterprise data and applications. So that's for MCP, and for ACP is a little different, but ACP is Agent Communication Protocol. So MCP is built on top of ACP. So ACP is a standard focusing on enabling communication between many agents. So in turn, you can collaborate with different independent AI agents, allow different systems and even different organizations. So MCP allows the AI to talk to the world, then ACP allows the AI agents to talk to themselves, to make workflows and prepare some solutions based on that.
Thank you so much, Shalin. I think that's a great explanation, guys. If you're hearing him, then definitely it will definitely enhance your knowledge and understanding that how the science behind the agentic AI works. Shweta, I want you to share some examples, like in your Philips world, what all agentic AIs you guys are creating, and give some use cases how you're doing it, because you have been leading this practice from quite a while. I'm sure you must be doing some amazing work. So we really want to know that what you're doing in background.
Yeah, thank you, Rohit. We are live and in action, but let me call it out very clearly, right? Because In healthcare, unlike any other industry, right, if there is any kind of inconsistencies in data or any kind of um, timestamp delays or any kind of semantic layer disputes, it is something which is not going to impact your revenues or trust because it's something much more powerful. Here we have people's lives at disposal, right? So we need to be really responsible in healthcare. It is always augmented AI because we have people in the loop, right? And at the same time, we really want to accelerate agentic AI principles in our equipments, in our devices. One powerful example is smart speed. It is AI driven, MRI accelerated. What it does is traditionally, MRI reconstruction used to happen post the scan. But now, by using agentic AI principles, we are able to autonomously and intelligently apply this at the very ingestion where data comes in. So the deep learning algorithms are applied at the very acquisition of data, and the way it helps is it reduces the signal noise, but most importantly, it kind of distinguishes between what is diagnostic information and what is noise. But this is not the thing. What is that we've been able to achieve with it, right? We've been able to have 3x scan time. We have been able to have 65%, image quality resolution. And we've been able to do it all of this in real time across 97 protocols. But if you have to reflect on under the hood, what is that which made this happen, Rohit, right? Then it is we going to Gemba sessions with our biomeds, the people in the field, and really looking at where do we have deduplication of records, really establishing master data management, right? Going into the fundamentals of data, doing a discovery and audit to check the data for completeness, right? To check the data for consistency, that temperature, degree centigrade or degree Fahrenheit in an MRI equipment can make a huge difference. Check when was the latest update available, because metadata, as we all know, is a new mode, right? And we really wanted to have this kind of transformation come in, but the journey would not have been possible had we not gone and worked and done this discovery sessions, laid out that framework, right? And basically worked on some of the fundamentals. I think we have a question. Would you like to take a pause?
Yeah, Shasta, please, take this question. So one of the user is asking you that how do you see agentic AI reshaping the role of content marketers over next 3 to 5 years? Probably that was our next topic, the future, but you can cover this question if they have asked.
Yeah. So I think the future of AI is definitely, something which is revolutionizing, right? Whether it is healthcare, whether it is content marketing, or whether it is e-commerce, we are going to see a paradigm shift in the way we are performing today and the way we are going to, step up our productivity. So my view would be for everybody who is into content marketing, right? We would have not had a role in the previous era as simple as a content creator, right? That role did not even exist, or a prompt engineer, that role did not even exist, or social media manager, that role did not even exist. So these new roles are going to get created, but what you need to do, just do not tag along because everybody else is into content creating. Understand what is that which is your superpower. Understand what is that you're really good at. Understand what keeps you awake at night, and then immerse yourself in these AI tools to 10x your productivity. Because right from publishing content to generating content to scheduling the content, right, or creating videos, there are a plethora of tools available today to do it. But if you do not have a strategy laid out, and if you are not able to scale it, beyond, then you are not going to accomplish or have a success in this domain. So just do not tag along because you feel that everybody is doing it and I want to do it. Know if it is your niche. That is the first message. The second is when you're looking at any of the fields, right? The grunt work is something which is going to be done by agentic AI, and that should be how it is, because when we are optimizing the processes, we really need to follow the 10, 20, and 70% rule, right? So the 70% of grunt work is what agentic AI will take into picture. Under the hood, what will make this happen is having a strong bedrock of data, right? Clean, connected, annotated data that is going to help us leverage and scale. Otherwise, you will have one or two quick wins, but not able to scale. So that's my quick insight on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think I hope you got your answer. I mean, I'm sure Shasta explained it beautifully. Shasta, I was actually hooked to the answer which you were giving previously about your examples. So I would really want you to continue that
Yeah.
and tell
Yeah.
us the interesting things you were doing
Yeah.
at Philips.
Yeah, so smart speed, right? Like I was telling, is our MRI acceleration. We have done it using AI. We would not have been able to succeed because if our training data lacked, labeling, as simple as that, if it lacked pixel integrity, if we did not have the right kind of metadata in place and data lineage in place, we would not have been able to scale at the pace at which we are today, right? Imagine improving the hospital productivity by 30 to 40%, right? Imagine reducing the rescan time so that doctors and nurses can focus on what they are supposed to be, doing. All of this has been made possible because we went deeper into it. We tried to fix the data at the source. So that is something which I would like to tell, that when you are in your dashboards, in your Power BIs or Tableaus, when you see null values, don't try to, do use cases just to fix the data. Go to the source of it. Is it that the sensor has not been able to retrieve this information, or is it that some API connection is failing? Try to figure that out, because you can go far if you are able to fix it at the source. And that is something which is really, really important. Uh, as simple as that, we can start with tagging, validating, using NLP and using powerful tools, right? AW has DQ, we have great expressions, we can get and start using these tools. So use these tools, but even before going into the tools, carve out a data strategy, align with your business strategy, and make sure that we are really working on setting up a strong data foundation, following the basic principles in place, and getting people data literate, because we really fancy with a lot of tools, with a lot of noise which is happening in the industry today, but we kind of miss on the fundamental foundational blocks, like, does my organization have even a data policy? Do we have data rules identified? Is there a governance structure in place? Are people data literate? We are so much talking about AI literacy, but are our people even data literate, right? As simple as context. Semantic layer helps us bridge between the raw data and the contextual layer. If I put today CSAT 85, right, it will not make any sense to the agentic AI. It needs to be distilled. As CSAT stands for customer satisfaction, APAC, Japan is 85, right? So we
Yes.
really need to transform by connecting and bridging the gap between contextual data and the raw data. And there is where agentic AI will be able to deliver the value for us. So with this use case, we were able to go, full throttle. It is one of our flagship products. And we were able to basically do that because we learned it really hard way in Philips. We have now built, systems. We have put down processes in place, and we respect data so much that it is not just a quality checklist or a technology checklist, but it is the ROI lever which is going to help us provide, reliable, responsible AI, and that is what is needed to transform healthcare and improve it.
I think you have summed it beautifully, Shasta. I mean, thank you so much for the detailed explanation. And that actually is the crux of our topic, that why it's important that you have you talked about the data governance structure, a data layer, a data literacy. I think these are the important pillars that if you have in your organization, you are guaranteed for a success, whether it's a AI, agentic AI you want to create, or you want to create any dashboard on that or data for any decision making. But this is extremely critical, guys. If you're listening to this, to everyone, that and that's what we do, Shasta, at Envision Solutions. That we try and fix the quality of the data. I mean, I get a lot of use cases from retail and manufacturing world as well. They want to completely revamp their SKU cycle, and they want to make sure that these AIs should help them in the complete workflows, and give them some kind of alerts that if there are any errors are there. So, but for that, it's very important that we fix them by having right kind of data quality products. As you also mentioned, the master data management, that is very, very critical. That because we are dealing with a lot of core customer data or a product data, and if that data is not correct, then obviously any kind of analytics, any kind of agentic AI on top of that you're running, it's not going to give you the desired result. So it's very important that we have right data quality in place, as explained by Shasta. It's critical that you identify your data owners, because having the data governance structure is extremely important. Because if we don't make people accountable for data, then obviously you will have a lot of rework, and those problems will keep on reoccurring. So I mean, I really want to thank Shasta, to explain that point deeply. Well, going forward, I think we have some couple of questions. Let me just pick it up. So Sumit Gupta is asking a question, and I want you to pick it up, Shasta. And the next question I'll put it to you, Shalin, because that is a little technical question. So Sumit is asking you, Shasta, that can agentic AI improve quality of their own data? So I think it's very much relevant to what we just discussed. The data sources, that can an AI actually work and improving the quality? Can it do the discovery on its own and find out the flaws and fix it on its own? Do you want to speak on that, Shasta?
Yeah. Yeah. So, AI, right? If you have to look at it, I talked about two tools, right? DQ and Great Expressions. It can very well filter out and help us tagging the data at the very source of it, right? It can help us validate, it can help us reconcile, and it goes as a self-healing way where whether you are collecting data, whether you are synthesizing data, or whether you are using it for analysis, you have AI along the way. So it is not data for AI, it is AI for data, but it has to be programmed. You need to start on a clean slate for it to be even meaningful. If you start on a patchy state, the AI will also not be able to fix this. So first is the hard work, first is the grunt work, right? First is the alignment with your businesses, first is the alignment with your data strategy, the grunt work, and then of course we can, and definitely we can use AI to fix data not only at the source but across the life cycle of data. When it goes into the pipeline, you can have it, AI looking into it and fixing it so that there are no missing files, the latency and throughput is optimal. When it goes and creates insights and dashboards, we can switch over and use AI. So across the life cycle, we can plug in agentic AI and workflow enablement can happen. But before starting on this journey, lay out a simple framework to go on an audit. Check whether your data is complete. Check whether your data is consistent. Check where it is coming from. Who is the owner? When was it time stamped, right? So these are some of the areas which you will have to do to get onto your data journey. And let's be honest, we will get what we feed in, right? So we will have to do bit of grunt work before onboarding onto and leveraging the power of agentic AI. But once you do, and once you are setting the stage, right, it is something where it will self heal. Yeah, just let me have some water.
I think it's a valid point, Shasta, what you're making. So basically, have the filters initially in the pipeline so that you
Yeah.
don't get that garbage from the data sources. So I believe, Sumit, you got your answer. Well, there is another question. It's Mangesh Salve. He's asking question to you, Charlene. Can agentic AI have REST API or SDK, which we can use it in our project?
That's a great question, Rohit. Absolutely. So the agentic AI systems can be exposed through REST APIs or SDK platforms. Some popular platforms, and I know, is LangChain. Then we have 𝗏 AI. Some of these platforms help us to build multi-agent frameworks and workflows for agentic AI, and they can be make the process of integrating agentic AI very easy to the existing applications or workflows. And they are designed in this way with flexibility in mind. So you can, integrate web search capability. You can integrate many applications, so Google-based applications, calendar. Whether you have your own database, you can just, plug in many of these applications within your agentic AI platform. So with the help of REST API and agents can receive inputs like tasks, goals, and data. So they can then use the reasoning method that's really popular nowadays, reasoning models. So they are able to reason through these tasks and prepare goals and some milestones that they could improve and include in their pipeline to return some actionable outputs. I would like to just add a point for the previous question, the data quality improvement. So I was hearing Elon Musk from a very popular conference, and he was saying that the data that is being used to train the LLM models have been already 90 to 95% ingested into the models. Now the game that is being played to improve the accuracy of these models is using synthetic data. So the data is being made by these AI models in order to improve the accuracy of these models. So I believe like the data itself is being like revolutionized by these AI systems. So in enterprise world, it's pretty different because you need to have different sets of data. But like in regular use cases, in research, a lot of things are happening. And I'm really excited to see news every day about this AI, new models, research papers, and their capability. Yeah, so I hope I answered the question, but yeah, you can use the REST APIs and the SDKs, definitely.
Thank you so much, Charlene, for giving an explanation. So, guys, Shasta and Charlene. Shasta, first come to you. So, how the future looks like for what do you think? Where are we heading?
I think great question. But even before going into the future, I think let's go a little back of how has been the past era, right? And I think I'd like to take you back uh, a little further, like almost 10,000 years back. And imagine if you go and tell a hunter gatherer that one day you will be able to fly across oceans in a giant machine.
Right.
It would have been unimaginable, right? And that is the power of human intelligence, right? And I'm pretty intrigued with what modern civilization we have been able to accomplish. And with AI, the way it has been radically transforming and revolutionizing every industry, if we are able to leverage the power of AI and even get a fraction of it, right, the possibilities are endless, right? So the future to me, if you have to look in the current next 5 to 10 years, right, the question which we need to be asking is um, not whether AI will replace us or there will be no jobs. The question what we really need to reflect on is how am I going to partner with this, right, AI, to level up, right, to take my productivity 10x, right? That's the question, because together we are going to shape the future, we are going to transform the future together. And the industry is shifting at an unprecedented pace. What I am saying today might not be applicable a couple of weeks later, right? If you see generative AI has reached its height when it comes to Gartner cycle, right? Every 2.5 days or so, what, Charlene? We have an LLM model getting
Right,
released, right?
right, definitely.
Right. So, in an industry which is transforming, at such a rapid pace, shaping the workflow, shaping leadership, right? We need to really reflect on what is that which is our superpower so that we are set up for success. What is that which is going to keep me thriving, right? Keeps me awake at night. What is my core competency? Ask your friends, ask, people around, your colleagues, and build your career around that. That's what would be, my take on it. And if I have to fast forward to your question, Rohit, what does future look like 2020, 30 years? And if agentic AI behaves responsibly, then I think we will be in an era of radical abundance, right? We may have solved the problem of global water crisis. We may have had breakthrough innovations with respect to diseases which do not have a cure today, like Alzheimer's, cancer. We may be, not coming from a mindset which we currently have of scarcity. We may be a global superpower, right? And there might be a mindset shift where we are working not from scarcity but from a collaborative way, not from zero sum but a win-win. So that's what I see, that the future is super bright, right? And it's going to make us all superhuman, taking away all the grunt work from us. So we need to learn to lead with AI, not being led by AI.
Right.
Great, awesome, Shasta. I think the future definitely looks bright, and there are enormous opportunities. But as you said, we have to embrace it and we have to learn it if we really want to thrive successfully in future. Shalin, what about you? What do you think the future is taking us in terms of AI?
Um, um, could you repeat the question? I couldn't just get the last part.
So I just want to know about your opinion that the future of AI. What do you think? Where are we heading?
Um, I mean, it keeps changing every day. I really don't know what to predict, maybe even next year or next 2 years. But I can say it looks very good. It looks great for young people like us and many people that are getting exposed to these systems, because the things that were happening 50 years ago, they are happening in a span of 1 or 2 years, and the rate of advancements has really accelerated. um, and now the basic things and the manual tasks that were being done by humans will be maybe in future being done by AI systems. So we will just be managing these AI systems, and that's the future I believe that humans will be having, that we will be overseeing these AI models, that they just don't go off the track, and the manual work, the excessive work and a lot of autonomous and mass work is being done by AI.
Absolutely agree with you. I think future looks absolutely bright. I'm sure that agentic AI, if we have the right data in place and do things systematically, there are enormous opportunities. Guys, some of the people who are attending our podcast, they have some series of questions. So I'll just pick it up one by one, and then probably we can end our podcast. So Jishu is asking you a question. Shasta, I want you to pick it up. In general, how agentic AI decide what action to perform proactively? Is it solely based on the training, or how accurate is the action?
Yeah, no, great question, Jishu. I would say take a step back. Even before looking at the proactive actions or training, have we carved out the workflows, right? Because agentic AI predominantly works with other AIs, other APIs, right? I think Charlene explained beautifully about the AMCP protocol, right? And MCP is basically the same language wherein you can retrieve information from Google Analytics, from Salesforce, from any CRM application. So agentic AI can perform actions proactively, also reactively. It all depends on how your workflows have been configured, right? So that is number key. So even before getting into training the models, look at your workflows, optimize your workflows as much as you can. And under the hood, the very core of it, the data which is supporting these workflows needs to be prudent enough so that it produces the right outcome. These two things, if are in place, we will be able to get the maximum benefit. Just a second, there's a power thing.
Thank you so much, Shasta, for giving this explanation. Well, there is another question from Ashish. Shasta, if you can pick this up. Which data quality tool you feel is having agentic AI capabilities currently in the market? So, as you said, then you speak, you're using a lot of tools in Philips to maintain the data quality. So, can you name few of them?
Yeah. AWS DQ, I would say just start off with that. It's a very powerful tool, right? And also we in Philips have deep commitment and partnerships with AWS. We are using it. It has given enormous results, has amazing capabilities to discover, correct, do the right labeling across the life cycle. There is great expectations also, but my first preference would be to go with DQ.
Great. I've also used a lot of tools. So as you know that we keep working, and I really like some of the tools like Informatica. I mean, their data quality capabilities are actually top notch, and they're using Clear AI engine as well to do the data discovery, do the data quality. The AI's bot is actually helping you a lot. So yeah, Ashish, to help to answer your question, as Shasta said, that there are a lot of tools in the market, but you can definitely explore either the Azure DQ or Informatica. Well,
Yeah.
Abhishek also has a question. Yeah, Shasta, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I think on your lines only, I just wanted to comment that, right? It is now we want a Postgres kind of a feature to be enabled, right? Where you're able to spin a database before lunch, use it for like less than 12 seconds, get the outcome when it comes to agentic AI. So there are other set of tools, right? If you don't want to go into discovery, but if you want to look at end-to-end tools, there is Crunchy Data, which is being acquired by Snowflake. You already mentioned Informatica, right? Which Salesforce has bought. And then there is
Yes.
Neon.
Uh,
Yeah, I
Maybe
think we are
some
lost.
issues.
Right now. Yeah. Mhm.
You want to pick up this question, Shalin, to answer that?
Yeah,
Like
sure.
some of the
Abhishek's question. Yeah, so the key data attributes that matter most in agentic AI. That's a good question. And I'll say the key data attributes will be, getting the data in correct form. So what happens is basically in agentic AI that you want to focus on particular types of data formats. So whether you are, trying to integrate CSV files or, your PDF files, JSON files, and many other types of different data formats, you need to keep in mind that the data you are providing LLM should be factual and should be correct and in the correct format towards the input. Because if you are feeding whole bunch of data, it just makes it very complicated for these AI models to do analysis on it. So you are just ingesting whole your database, a lot of PDF files, and you are just not, selectively picking the bunch of the, like, using RAG technology, retrieval augmented generation. These are some of the things that you could integrate with agentic AI to choose the specialized set of data to plug in with agentic AI. So it improves the accuracy, as you mentioned, the context reasoning, and the timelessness, and many other features for agentic AI. Yeah.
There's another question, Shalin. How effective is agentic AI in auto recommending translations or localizations for global product catalogs? You want to take it up?
So yeah, if we stick to Indian market, it's great because localization to Hindi language formats, or for European market for French, for Spanish or German languages, that becomes important for many customers that have multi country users. So you can definitely plug agentic AI for it. And it's an interesting use case, actually. It's an interesting question and a very interesting point that Abhishek has mentioned.
Thank you so much for asking that question. So probably the last question for the day. Jamesh is asking, who owns the responsibility for bad outcomes when an agent acts on a biased or incomplete data? The developer, data steward, or the AI itself? I guess Shasta is back. Shasta, glad you're back. So
Thank you.
Shasta, you want to take this question from Jamesh? He's asking, who owns the responsibility for bad outcomes when an agent acts on biased or incomplete data, the developer, data steward, or an AI itself?
Oh, that's a $1 billion question. And
That's a good
Jamesh,
question.
thank you for asking it, right? And this is a very crux of it, right? Where you have to define what are the ethical guardrails when it comes to your organizations, right? Because in healthcare specifically, we are dealing with lives of people. We cannot say that this particular bad outcome is because the developer did some wrong coding or the AI was not able to produce the right kind of results. So from an organization setting perspective, it is very clearly to an important to have these foundations put in place, right, which define that when you are shaking hands across multiple teams, what are the guardrails, very clearly called out guardrails. And there are frameworks, right, LLM ops frameworks and so many other frameworks which is helping. But at Philips we have been really very vocal about it to have very clearly the ethical aspect being called out, because here it is not just about ethics, it's about lives of the people.
I was trying to finish the podcast, but another question popped in. People are
Okay.
taking a lot of interest. Shasta probably
Yeah,
loving our
sorry, I was
podcast.
pulled into another thing.
No problem.
Sorry. Yeah.
I know. So probably last question for the day. And Shasta, if you can take it up, then we will just close. Can agentic AI be adapted to follow domain-specific data quality rules, and what does the customization typically involve?
Yeah. So great question, Deepak, right? Like I say, it is your business case, how you want to, you know, configure the agentic AI is something completely your prerogative. You want it to have a domain based quality data rules put in. You want it to be integrating across other, CRMs and retrieve that data and have a front end develop. So it is completely your prerogative. Agentic AI will work as seamlessly as you coded and as you want it to be. But I think this may sound a little rhetoric, but this is the key. You need to have carved out the right processes. How, when I connect with my CRM, when I connect with Google Analytics, when I connect for retrieving information from my LLMs, right? What is the flow which I am envisioning? Carve out and have that roadmap very clearly called out, and whether you want to keep it domain in the lead or keep it, something which is technology agnostic. Today you are on Claude, tomorrow you want to go on something else, right? Gemini or Copilot, you have that kind of flexibility. So look at all the aspects and then take that decision, because there are trade-offs with respect to going one way or the other. But at the end of the day, it is what is that your business is going to benefit on. Do not go the route that this is something which technology can do. Go the route where you're able to get an ROI and you're able to scale with that ROI for your business. So those will be my 2 cents on this.
Thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much, guys. All of you are hooked to our podcast and ask these beautiful questions. And thank you so much, Shasta and Charlene, to take out your time. I know that you've been very busy, but really thankful to you that you took out your time and we could explain this topic pretty well. And the guys, I think three things which are coming out very clearly from this podcast, that fine, yeah, you want to achieve great things from your agentic AI, but please fix your data. And for that, it's very very important that you adopt any kind of technology or a tool which can take care of your data quality or master data management work. Second, you need to have a data governance layer. You need to make sure that the right data custodians are in charge, so that they can take that ownership. And third thing, whichever agentic AI you are adopting, you have to make sure that you are going with the trend. You're using all the right kind of techniques to make sure that your AI is a success and have the proper use cases. So again, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for taking your time. And Shasta, some closing remarks from you and Charlene, and then we can probably wrap up. I hope you really enjoyed, because I really love speaking to both of you.
Yeah, it has been really great being on this podcast with you, Rohit, and Charlene, along with you. And I love the engagement coming from the people online, the kind of questions which have popped in, right? And this is a topic which will transform. And I would like to just by saying, end by saying this, that if you have observed the last 4 to 5 weeks, it has been like end of season data sale, right? And all the enterprises have been coming and buying, the data infrastructure pioneers. And Neon has been bought by Databricks, and it is a $1 billion deal. Snowflake has acquired Crunchy Data. It
Right.
is for $250 million deal. Salesforce has acquired Informatica for a $8 billion deal, right?
Yeah.
And ServiceNow has taken Data World, right?
Data.
What does all of this say? All AI roads leads towards data. So
Yeah.
get your data right,
Data.
and you're going to succeed and win in whether it is agentic AI or whether it is agentic AI and robotics in future. That is the bedrock. So that's my closing remark, Rohit. Over to you.
Yes, so much. Shalin, your closing remarks?
Yeah, thanks, Rohit and Shaista. And I'll say to Rohit, you were a great host today. You asked, pretty tough questions, and people also asked really tough questions from us. But the future I can see is, clearly going towards and inclining towards AI, and it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. But as people are saying, it will take some jobs. That's a bad thing that people have in mind. But I believe, as many people have said, that new jobs will be created as well. The old and the traditional job roles that were, doing the manual work and very autonomous and mass types of work could be replaced with much better things with AI. So let's see how it goes. I'm also curious as you guys about AI, but I believe it's going to be good in future.
Very optimistic. I'm sure that AI is here to stay and change the world, and everybody who's learning it definitely will take us to milestone. As Shasta explained that some of the new things can be discovered. Like if you can have a cure of cancer, thing like it. That's fantastic. I mean, and that's what we want from AI. To help us in those areas which were undiscovered. So again, thank you guys. Thank you for this lovely discussion, and thanks everyone who joined in. And if at all, if you have more questions after this, then please feel free to contact either me, Shasta, or Shalin, and we will definitely respond you to in the comment section. Thank you, guys, and signing off. Thank you, everyone.